Stop scrolling. Just stop. Give me 5 seconds of your time. Look at these hands. They're wrinkled, they're spotted, they shake a little bit when I hold my coffee. These hands have been on this earth for 95 years. I have seen wars. I have seen peace. I have seen men land on the moon, and I have seen the internet take over the world. But I am going to tell you something that took me almost a century to figure out. Most of what you are stressing about right now, it is a lie. It is a scam. If you want to know how to win the game of life before your hair turns white like mine, you need to listen closely today. And listen, if you want an old man to keep telling you the raw truth when the rest of the world is trying to sell you something, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. It tells me you are awake. It tells me you are ready to hear what nobody else is saying. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. I want to talk about the map. You know, the map I'm talking about from the time you were a tiny baby. Society hands you a map. Your parents give it to you. Your teachers give it to you. The television gives it to you. It looks very simple. It says, go to school, get good grades so you can go to more school, get a safe job, work 40, 50, maybe 60 hours a week, save your money, buy a house with a white fence, buy a nice car, take a vacation once a year for a week, and then when you are 65 or 70, you are allowed to stop. You're allowed to retire. And that is when you are finally allowed to be happy. That is the scam. I fell for it. Hook, line, and sinker. I thought that if I just worked harder, if I just got that promotion, if I just bought that bigger house, I would feel complete. I treated life like a waiting room. I was always waiting for the next big thing to happen so my real life could start. I told myself, I will be happy when I pay off the car. I will be happy when the kids are grown. I will be happy when I have $1 million. But here is the truth from a man who is standing at the finish line. Happiness is not a place you get to. It is not a prize waiting for you at the end of a long, miserable road. If you are miserable on the journey, you will be miserable at the destination. I spent 40 years running on a treadmill, sweating and stressing, chasing a carrot on a stick. And do you know what happened when I finally caught the carrot? It was plastic. It wasn't real. We are taught to trade our time for money. That is the basic deal of society. But it is a bad trade. It is a terrible trade. You can always make more money. You can get a second job. You can sell your stuff. You can win the lottery, but you can never, ever get back a single second of time. Time is the only thing you truly own. And yet we give it away so cheaply. We give it to bosses who don't care about us. We give it to traffic jams. We give it to staring at screens and looking at pictures of people we don't even like. I look back now and I don't remember the late nights at the office. I don't remember the stress of meeting a deadline. I don't remember how much my first house cost. Do you know what I remember? I remember the Sunday mornings making pancakes. I remember the smell of rain on hot asphalt in the summer. I remember the way my wife looked at me when we were young and broke and didn't have a dime to our names. Society scammed us into thinking that stuff equals success. They told us that whoever dies with the most toys wins. But I am 95, and I am telling you, whoever dies with the most love wins. Whoever dies with the most peace wins. You are probably sitting there right now worrying about your bank account or your job title. You are worried that you are falling behind. Let me tell you something. There is no behind. There is only your life, and it is happening right now, not tomorrow, not when you retire right now. But realizing the scam is only the first step. The second biggest lie is that other people's opinions pay your bills. They don't. But boy, did I spend a lot of years acting like they did. We grow up terrified of being different. We are terrified of looking stupid. We are terrified that if we step out of line, the tribe will leave us behind. So what do? We put on a mask every single morning before you walk out that door. You put on a mask. You put on the mask of the good employee. You put on the mask of the perfect parent. You put on the mask of the successful person. I remember when I was about 40 years old, I was up to my eyeballs in debt, but I went out and bought a brand new luxury car. It was shiny. It was loud. It was beautiful. And I didn't buy it because I love driving. I bought it because I wanted my neighbor, a man I didn't even like to see it in my driveway. I wanted him to look at that car and think, wow, he made it. I was paying $500 a month, which was a fortune back then, just to impress a guy who wouldn't lend me a cup of sugar if I asked. That is insanity. But we all do it. We buy clothes we don't need to impress people we don't like with money we don't have. And here is a hard pill to swallow. I learned this when I moved into the nursing home. And when you get to be my age, you realize that nobody was watching you. You thought you were the star of the movie. You thought everyone was looking at your shoes or your car or your job title, but they weren't. They were too busy worrying about their own shoes and their own cars and their own lives. You are the main character in your life, but you are just an extra in everyone else's. And you know what? That is good news. That is the best news in the world. It means you are free. It means you can dance at a wedding like a fool and nobody cares. It means you can quit that job you hate to start a bakery. And even if you fail, the world keeps turning. I spent decades biting my tongue. I didn't say what I really felt because I didn't want to rock the boat. I wanted to be nice. I wanted to be agreeable. But being agreeable is just a fancy way of saying you are lying to yourself to make other people comfortable. Don't get to 95 and realize you live someone else's life. I see young people today taking pictures of their food, taking pictures of their vacations, trying to prove to the world that they are happy. If you have to prove you are happy, you probably aren't. Happiness is quiet, confidence is quiet, insecurity is loud. When you stop caring what the world thinks, a weight lifts off your shoulders, a weight you didn't even know you were carrying. You start to breathe deeper. You sleep better. You start to laugh louder. But there is a trap here. Once you stop caring about opinions, you run right into the third scam. This is the one that keeps you stuck in one place. It is the one that kept me in the same town doing the same routine for 60 years. It is the lie about safety. And let me tell you, safety is the most dangerous thing in the world. They tell you to play it safe. That is the message from the time you can walk. Don't climb that tree, you might fall. Don't talk to strangers. Don't invest in that crazy idea, you might lose your money. Keep your head down. Stay in the lane. I lived my life wrapped in bubble wrap. I thought I was being smart. I thought I was being responsible, but I wasn't being responsible. I was being fearful. I had a chance back when I was about 25 years old. A buddy of mine wanted to drive across the country, just pack up a truck and go see the mountains, see the oceans, sleep under the stars. My heart wanted to go so bad it hurt, but my brain said, no, that is reckless. You have a job at the plant. You have a steady paycheck. If you leave, you might lose your spot. So I stayed. I stayed in the plant. I kept my spot. And my buddy, he sent me postcards from places I'd only seen in books. He had stories. He had scars. He had a wife. I had a perfect attendance record. Looking back now, I realize that safety is just a comfortable coffin. When you choose safety over and over again, your world gets smaller. You stop growing. You stop learning. You stop feeling. You just exist. You become a piece of furniture in your own life. And here's the joke. Safety is an illusion anyway. You can do everything right. You can eat the kale, run the miles, save the pennies, and wear the seatbelt. And life can still knock you flat on your back. Tomorrow, a storm can come, the market can crash, the doctor can call with bad news. I spent so much energy trying to build a fortress around my life to keep the bad things out. But do you know what happened? The walls I built to keep the sadness out also kept the joy out. You cannot numb yourself to the fear without numbing yourself to the excitement. If you are young, or even if you're not so young, do the thing that scares you. I don't mean be stupid. Don't jump off a bridge, but take the risk. Ask that girl out. Quit the job that makes you miserable. Move to the city you have always dreamed of. When I look back at my 95 years, I don't regret the mistakes I made. I don't regret the time I tried to start a business and lost money. I don't regret the time I got my heart broken because those things made me feel alive. They taught me lessons. I regret the things I didn't do. I regret the silence. I regret the times I said no when I wanted to say yes. People ask me, what if I fail? So what? Failure is just a bruised knee. You get up, you brush it off, you heal. But regret is a ghost that haunts you forever. It sits at the end of your bed when you're old and whispers, what if? Do not let what if be the last thing you think about when your time comes. But being brave is hard. It is hard because we are busy. We are so busy. We are running around like headless chickens, thinking that being busy is the same thing as being important. And that is the fourth scam, the scam of busyness, the lie that tells us we don't have time for the things that really matter. And folks, this one breaks my heart the most. Busyness. We wear it like a badge of honor, don't we? You ask someone how they are and they say, oh, I'm swamped, I'm so busy. And they say it with a little smile like they just won a gold medal. They think it means they are important. They think it means they are needed. I fell for this one hard. I used to walk fast everywhere I went. I checked my watch every 5 minutes. I ate my lunch standing up. I thought that if I stopped moving, the world would fall apart. I thought that resting was for lazy people. I thought that silence was a waste of time, but I was wrong. Being busy is not the same thing as being productive, and being productive is not the same thing as living. We fill every quiet moment with noise. You stand in line at the grocery store and you pull out your phone. You drive in the car and you blast the radio. You sit on the toilet and you scroll through the news. Why? Because we are terrified of being alone with our own thoughts. We are terrified of the silence. Because in the silence, you have to face yourself. You have to ask yourself, am I actually happy or am I just distracted? I remember one specific Tuesday, my son, he must have been 7 or 8. He came up to me while I was fixing the sink. He held up a drawing he made. It was a picture of me and him playing catch. And I didn't even look up. I said, not now, buddy. Daddy is busy. Daddy has to fix this. He walked away. He didn't say a word. He just walked away. That moment is burned into my brain. I fixed the sink. The sink works fine, but I can never unsay those words. I can never get that Tuesday back. I traded a magic moment with my son for a working drain. That is a bad trade. We rush through our lives trying to get to the next thing. We rush through breakfast to get to work. We rush through work to get to dinner. We rush through the week to get to the weekend. We are always living in the future, but the future is just a fantasy. The only thing that is real is right here. The smell of your coffee, the feeling of your socks on your feet, the sound of your breathing. If you're always rushing to the next moment, you are never actually alive in this one. Slow down. I mean it. Drive a little slower, eat a little slower, look people in the eye when they talk to you. You are not a machine. You are a human being. You were not made to produce. You were made to experience. The work will never be finished. The email inbox will never be empty. The laundry will never be done. When you die, your to-do list will still be full. Someone else will do it or they won't, and it won't matter. But here's the catch. Even if you slow down, and even if you take the risks, and even if you stop caring what people think, there is one final trap. It is the most subtle scam of all. It is the lie society tells us about connection. It is the lie that tells us we can go it alone. And realizing this truth, well, it's the only thing that saves you in the end. They call it the myth of the self-made man. That is the fifth scam. Society tells you that you need to be independent. You need to be a rock. You shouldn't need anyone. If you ask for help, you are weak. If you cry, you are soft. We build fences around our houses and walls around our hearts. We think that if we are strong enough, we can survive anything alone. That is hogwash. I spent years trying to be the strong, silent type. I didn't share my worries with my wife because I didn't want to burden her. I didn't call my friends when I was sad because I didn't want to look pathetic. And you know what? I wasn't strong. I was just lonely. We are not meant to be alone. We are herd animals. We need each other. We need to see a face, not a screen. We need to hear a voice, not read a text. We need to hold a hand. I see people today with 1,000 friends on the internet, but they have nobody to call at 3 a.m. when their world falls apart. That is not connection. That is just noise. When you are lying in that hospital bed at the end, and we all will one day, you aren't going to be asking for your bank statement. You aren't going to be asking for your diploma. You are going to be looking for a hand to hold. You are going to be looking for the eyes of the people you loved. The only thing that matters, the only thing that truly counts is how well you loved and how well you were loved. That's it. That's the whole secret. We complicate it. We analyze it. We write books about it. But it is simple. Love people, use things. And the scam is that we started loving things and using people. So here's my final advice to you from a man who has seen 95 years of sunrises and sunsets. Tear up the map society gave you, it leads to nowhere. Stop buying things to impress people who don't care. Take the risk because the safe path is a trap. Slow down because being busy is not the same as being alive. And reach out, break down the wall. Tell someone you love them today, not tomorrow. Today. Don't wait until you are 95 to figure this out. You have the cheat codes now. You have the truth. The cage door is open. All you have to do is walk out. I am tired now. I think I'm going to go sit on the porch and watch the birds. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Thank you for lending an old man your ear. And listen, if this meant something to you, if you felt this in your gut, do me a favor. Leave a comment below. Just write, I am awake. It lets me know I'm not just talking to myself. And share this with someone who needs to wake up to go live your life. Is there anyone you've got